Alright, it's boil time for my lager that I'm making, just a random recipe. I'm just trying out some hops from Tenacious Badger. And not really too much action here. I'm going to jack up the heat. Now we're really talking. Now it's kicking in. And then I'll wait for this. I'll watch it so that it doesn't boil over. And then we'll start adding our hops. Alright, I thought it might be beneficial to kind of film the hot break and what happens, so I'm going to jack up the power. Element's going to start kicking on, and I'll put this in fast mode on the video. Alright, I dialed back the heat a little bit. Set a timer for 60 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 1 hour.
First edition of hops go in. Got my 10-minute edition going in. Steamy. A boil is over. I'm going to go ahead, kill the power. What I'm going to start doing during this time is starting the whirlpool. So I've already opened up both of my valves. This should be the only pump plugged in anymore, and I'm going to kick that baby on. And it is spinning. I don't need to purge the air out of the lines or anything like that. So I'll probably drop it down to like 200, 190. I don't think there's much difference between 180 is usually the goal. I'll probably shoot for 190, and then I'll add my whirlpool hops. I did get down to 180 while I was kind of messing around with things, so that's cool. I'm going to go ahead. Everything's still recirculating. Still spinning. Add my whirlpool hops. And then I will set a timer for 15 minutes.
Roger that. T-minus 15 minutes and counting.
And then I'll let that baby rest for 10 minutes, and then I will run it through my plate chiller down here. I've had really good luck just using gravity, no pumps, so I'm going to try to do that. That's one less thing that it has to get messed up and get dirty with, so I'll film that for you there too. This might not be manufacturer recommended, but I got my through meter here, and last night when I ran the cleaner through all the lines and the kettles, this was where it exited. So I call it clean, and then I just kind of spray some sanitizer in there. I'm going to drain wherever, and as long as I have 1 minute of contact time, I haven't had a problem yet. So that's sanitized and ready to go into the fermenter. I'm pretty close to getting to the point where I run the wort through the chiller. I got a lot of hoses running. Basically what I like to do is I like to save my water, so I got the garden hose that you see going back up to the hot liquor tank, and then just in case that starts getting full, I can open the valve and put it down into the mash tun. So that should be some pretty hot water. It should be good for cleaning, and my rain barrel's full, otherwise I would go outside and dump it into there. Alright, so my timer went off. Hit stop. I'm gonna kill the pump. That's kind of nice because then I can switch around my hoses and get them hooked up to the plate chiller. Alright, I'm going to start switching up some hoses here, going into my plate chiller. The thing you got to be careful of is that you don't burn yourself when you do this. So what I like to do is I have a purge valve over here. You probably can't see it that good, but just trust me, it's there. So I'm going to open this up. All my valves are off on my kettle, and then that's open, and I want to start at kind of like the top. So this would be my inlet. Basically that's just going to slowly drain into my bucket down there. As soon as I let air out, boom, it all comes shooting right out. So that's good. I'm actually going to kind of put that back on. Pick this out. And that's going to go on my wort in. Always be careful so you don't burn yourself. Wort in. This hose is now null and void. And then I'm going to get my sanitized through meter, which is going to tell me exactly what my wort's going into my fermenter at. I'm going to go pretty much as low as I can because it's a logger. Selfie video mode. See how this goes here. I'm going to drain this wort while filming it, so you can see the hop cone or lack thereof hop cone. We'll see. That's going to go through the plate chiller. First things first, turn on cold water. That's going through the plate chiller. That should come on here in seconds. There it is. There's no pump involved. I'm going to hold this over here. And then I'm going to open up this valve right here. It's going to go through the plate chiller. This could be an epic fail. Might need to get a pump involved here. Alright, I'm back. Really no big deal. I already had a hose hooked up here, or here, so I just switched them around anyway. I incorporated the pump. So here we go. You pump it with a pump. Sometimes you go a little bit fast, so it's hard to cool it down unless you really change the valve. Turn on the other camera. I'm going to open up this. Close the air gap. I'm losing wort like crazy. Man, that baby just gets right up and then it just won't go. So, turn back on the water. Got the water going. Make sure that that happens first. I'm going to dial this back. The valve, okay? So I got this valve a quarter of the way open. The water's pumping. I'm going to watch my through meter here intensely and drain it into there. Meanwhile, I'll be recording the hop cone, so we'll see if I get a hop cone or not. And here we go. I'm going to flip on the pump. Now I got where the camera. Slow this way down. See how we're doing. It's probably colder than it can read, which is good. Making lagers here, people. I don't really want it to be in the 60s. 55 would be like ideal. So I'm going to sit here until 5 gallons is in the conical. That's what we're doing right now. So I got my yeast starter. I was going to skim the wort off the top and just save the yeast. However, I'm going to use this because I wasn't really happy with my volume. It's just about above the temperature thermal well. So I'm just going to slurry this up, mix it up, get all that yeast into suspension, and then dump it into my fermenter. This has been sitting at room temperature for a couple hours now. I already got this pretty well mixed. The conical is open. I got this nice little teeny tiny magnet that will grab my stir bar for me. It'll lock it wherever I put it. There's a little bit more clumpy stuff down at the bottom. Boop. I'll stir this up. Whatever it is should be sufficient. Dump that into the conical. And then probably ferment it. It is a lager, so probably 55 degrees. Maybe I'll tell you what I fermented at. We'll see. Take that off. Looks good. Ba-ding. Yay for me. Whoops. Nah. Alright, so that's it. This concludes the boil segment of our presentation. Now it's in the conical. Put the top on here. Put the nice little spike band around it. Tighten her down. Tighten her down real good. Just right now, my temperature thing up here says that I'm at 58.5. I have a bucket full of refrigerated water ready to go into the cooling unit. This might not reach here. And that now reaches. Push the quick connect fittings on. Super nice. Turn my wheels. Lock them in place so that they're sturdy. And that's about it. I'm just going to get a growler filled with sanitizer, and then I'll attach my blow-off valve to that. And we should be good. All done. Walk away. Now it's just time to clean.